That adds certainly it for me. Oh yes. Welcome, lost souls, raging spirits out there. I am your host. I'm your host, the villainous curse raging. God, this is not a normal stream. What to say was, welcome to the Raging Podcast with your boy Raging.
Olivia, my new album Guts is out everywhere. Listen to it.
So I'm still running an ad on. There we go. Today we would today was supposed to be a podcast about I was supposed to be doing a podcast with my family once again, Clutch for the Dub and Laura Free. We was about to cover some of the best DC characters of all time, excluding the obvious, exclude some of the obvious top three: Batman, Superman, whoever the number three guy is. But things came up on their end, and so we decided to postpone it. So this is basically an impromptu podcast. This time with just me going solo, because who needs plans anyway? We could just be spontaneous. Saying. But anyways, I hope you guys doing well out. Like I said earlier, today is now simply a Q&A session. This is where you guys have DM me some messages for me to answer them live, like right now. So yeah, excuse me. It's been a while since I had this. But anyways, without further ado, oh yeah, and one more thing. If you guys haven't already, please, you'd like to see or hear this wonderful voice or terrible voice, depending on your perspective. Be sure to leave a follow. You know what I'm saying? If you want to support your boy a little bit further, please consider subscribing for all your ad-free benefits. So anyway, so with that being said, let's get right into it with the first question. Now the first question has been brought to me is, how do you get, let me, maybe it'll sound a bit better with our music. You guys can probably hear me. Anyways, how did you get into content creation? This is actually a very good stress. This stems for series of events that take place a long time ago. I said a long time ago. I say like at least 10 years back. Originally, this originally the name Curse Raging was originally my alternate, which I'm gonna dig into that a little bit. We're gonna go back maybe 15 years ago. Okay, it's 2023. I would say it start off with delicious. Yeah, it started off with sorry, I heard some weird noise. Thank you so much for giving a sub, Leon. I think it starts off back in 2010, maybe. I'm just doing out years. It's been a long time, but yeah, it's at least 10 years ago. Well, it's more than 10 years ago. Because my first, the name Curse Raging was a backup account for the name of Killer Kurt, which I originally go by, and I grew up, which is also my old gamer tag, PlayStation account, Xbox account. I don't that name during my 20s, which is a range of 15 years ago. Anyways, so with, anyways, when I start this account, okay, name Curse Raging existed for the past 8 years, while Killer Kurt lasted for I think 4 years, longer. I think yeah, lasted 4 years roughly, give or take. And I actually start off as a YouTuber. Uh, yeah, I was actually a YouTuber before I was never introduced to Twitch. And by the time Twitch was kind of newish per se. I think it was like the few 2 or 3 years into the existence at the time. I originally trying my hand on some YouTube streaming or YouTube bringing content on YouTube in general. And my very first game I streamed on Call of Duty. I mean, very first game I streamed on YouTube was a Call of Duty game. I don't know if it's Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or is it Black Ops 1. Some tells me it's Black Ops 2. But all I know is it was definitely on Christmas. Around the month of December. It was a Christmas stream. That was my first time ever streaming a game. So I had no idea what the hell I was doing at the time. I was just basically streaming straight out the fucking PS3. Fresh out the PS3. PS3. I mean PS3. I never had a PC at the time. PC was long ahead of me. But yeah, I was a console gamer, a hardcore PlayStation fan. Well, mostly on PlayStation. Even though I own a Xbox 360, that was my very officially my very first console. But even though I played a shit ton of Nintendo games growing. Anyways, that one particular stream, that was just me just messing around with some stuff. I was heavily to YouTube. So maybe some years later, I stopped, I stopped for like a little while, then I hopped back on it as soon as say like a couple of years later, which because at the time within those few years span, I was with my ex, my girlfriend at the time. We had my firstborn was born, so I was kind of focused on that and shit. Once you get up to age to like a toddler age, dip right back into right back on streaming. But how I go about doing that, it was a bit different. One of my cousins, his name is Steven. He talked to me about. He introduced me to Twitch initially. He like, hey, you should get on this platform named Twitch. On Twitch, what is that? Like he likes it's kind of like YouTube. It's kind of like YouTube, but better. That's all he said. I'm like, okay, that's not telling me much about it. But anyways, so I signed up for that account under the name Killer Kerr account. I think that name still exists somewhere in the system. But I signed up under that name. Of course I didn't stream right away. I was just sign up just to just explore what contents are being created on that platform. So I was just basically been a viewer for like first few years and shit like that. But I didn't stream because I didn't at the time. I was heavily focused on my firstborn, and because of that, I ain't had the funds to set up. Had a proper setup equipment like a mic, a PC, a second monitor on computer screen, any of that. and and despite the fact that I could have streamed right off my PS4, which at that time that's what I had, I could have streamed off of that, but I wound up not coming to pass just yet. But until my second born came out. Yeah, of course I did have to do I did what I had to do, It's a hashtag adult life, you know what I'm saying? But when my second born came to life, of course naturally for like a first year or so I was back into focusing on family. And of course the goddamn train will come due. I apologize for the background noise. But anyways, what was I? Oh yeah, my second born. As soon as my second born came to be, I was spending the first year or so focusing on that, and then afterwards, I got back into streaming because this time I had I don't know what. Oh yeah, I remember what triggered me. During my initial first time when I was trying to log into my Killer Cur account, when I got locked out of it because I forgot my password. So I want to create a whole new account, which is this one, Curse Ragin. And like I said, this was meant to be a temporary account until I recover my Killer Cur one. But when I created this account, I want to procrastinate on streaming, but instead I decided to watch other streamers and see how they build their communities and whatnot. And I came across one community. I never forget this woman. It was because of her that she was the only streamer I wound up watching. And then, oh yeah, funny story. Okay, never mind. Let me take that back. Let me rewind a bit. I remember now how I've met this streamer. This is a funny story. At the time, years prior, no. I lied. Wait a minute. I just thought about it. All right, let me rewind a bit. Shortly after I broke up with my ex, which was over 5 years ago, I think. Okay, train. Can you get any louder? Sure. Pick a right time to interrupt my podcast. Jeez. Yeah, I'm having. I can't even think straight because the goddamn train distracted me. But anyways, I remember now. Shortly after, a little bit. Yeah, shortly. I want to say 2 months after I broke up with my ex, because we broke up like a few times and make up again. But shortly the first 2 months after I broke up with my ex the first time, I wound up getting on this dating app called Tinder, and I'm scrolling left, I'm scrolling right, whatever, and I came across this particular person who on her bio it says that she was a Twitch streamer. I'm like, Twitch? I remember Twitch. Somebody told me about this stuff. And of course she provided a link, so I linked for it. So I clicked on it. I clicked on the link. It took me to it took me to a page. And yeah, that's right. It took me to a page, and that's how I found out that I couldn't log on to my first account. So I had to create my own account. I had to create this account, Curse Ragin, just to visit her page or talk to her on page. But anyways, I met this person. I vibe with her. I vibe with the community, and like a year later, when I became a mod for her stream, and and it's been going on like that for like several years. Now I'll say like a couple more years, like yeah, 2 to 3 more years of me being involved in the community. And during that time, she was the one to convince me, because throughout those times we didn't play with each other. We didn't play games with each other often until the later years. And she found out how I sound like, and she found out how funny I was. So because of that, she convinced me wholeheartedly to stream. So I'm like, I don't know. I tried that thing, and I just feel off. Saying, trying to throw on the pessimistic shit. But she kept being persistent with it. Like, no, you'd be great. You'll be great to watch. You'd be awesome to listen to. Just like all people say nowadays. But so she gave me the pep talk I need, and sure enough, I'll say like a couple months later, that's why I started streaming. And my very first thing I streamed was the game called The Evil Within 1. And at the time, the Evil Within game was new. So I don't know what year that was, but that's why I was basically started streaming. Yeah, that's basically why I started streaming. And not only that, I was also fiddling around with the videos, with the editing shit, trying to practice on that. And practice and trying to see how I can break content just post it on my YouTube. But my dumbass used the export link to send my video files to a dummy account somehow. I don't know how the fuck I did that, but when I went to my page to look for it, it was not there. So when I clicked in the Evil Within by Curse or Curse Ragin or whatever, boom, it pops up on the dummy channel under the name Curse Ragin. I'm like, what the fuck? So I got pissed at the time. But anyways, but yeah, that was a funny that was kind of funny. But in other words, I look up on how to, access that account. They said Twitch and see what's the is and cover it. So I wound up recovering the account, and I think I deleted that page. I'm not sure if it's still up or not, but yeah. But anyways, I got access to that. I got access to that account. But anyways, but yeah, she was the one that convinced me to go all the way with streaming. Especially under this name of Curse Ragin. The Killer Kurt one is gone. Man, we got a lot of train scheduling tonight. But anyways, but yeah, that's how I got into it. All right. Next question: what was your all-time favorite game, and why is it your favorite? Oh my god! All the years of me gaming, from the regular Nintendo to now, it's so hard to choose. Uno, I can't count Uno. Uno is a give or take. It varies between player and player. But I want to say the all-time favorite game. When I was younger, I always loved Super Mario games. As a little shit, I always loved Super Mario, particularly Super Mario 3. Particularly, because that's the game. And this is funny. But I grew up with my 3 cousins, which two of them you guys met on a previous podcast. To this day, one to this day, None of them cannot beat Super Mario 3, except for me. I did not know. I did not know that until recently. I'm like, you mean tell me after all these years, y'all cannot get past fucking you cannot get past World 2? World 2? Because it seems like that's that some of them are having the hardest time, getting past. But yeah, but come find out I'm the only person that beat that game. But so yeah, that game was my favorite as a child. As a teenager, during the, you know what? I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna go by consoles. Let's see. My favorite Nintendo game. Yeah, Super Mario 3 obviously. But there was another game I like on fuck. It's nothing else that pops to my mind that I thoroughly enjoy just as much as that game. So I guess Super Mario 3, because I cannot stand Super Mario 2 growing up. I used to have nightmares when I was a little shit. It's something about that Hulk. I don't know if you guys remember that Hulk at the boss at the end of every level that opened his mouth, and once you go inside his mouth, you go into another portal or whatever. But the reason why I find that scary, because if you guys remember that Hulk, when you're on the very last stage, right before you face the final boss, you face that Hulk, and seeing that Hulk floating around the map is some of the most scariest shit I have ever seen as a kid. I had fucking nightmares coming up to my teenage because of that shit. I was fucking traumatized. It's like seeing a fucking floating head just floating around the map. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. But anyways, and also that game was hard as fuck to go through. so yeah, Super Mario 3 was my favorite Super Nintendo game. Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Super Nintendo. I can't remember much Super Nintendo games other than the Mario games. I want to say Super Mario World was a enjoyable game to play through, because I love finding secrets on that one. But I got a feeling it was something else I like playing. But anyways, what's next? Sega. There was a time when I was playing Sega games. My favorite Sega games, obviously, is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I think that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Whatever that game is, where the ending, when you face the tall ass Dr. Robotnik, where even to this day I cannot seem to figure out how to beat it, or even try to after that one time. I like Sonic. Yeah, I was a huge Sonic fan during that Sega Genesis era. I also played this thing called Six Pack, which Sonic was one of those games. It's basically a 6-in-1 games. Yeah. I remember that I used to play that game while my sister and mom played the game called Columns, which is like one of those Tetris like jewel game, which is another one of the six-pack game. There was also Golden Axe at set 2. I enjoyed that from time to time. But yeah, I think Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega Genesis. Now, PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. There's so many. When we talking about PlayStation games, there's so many games I enjoyed. So many. But the first one come to mind, one of the first games I actually enjoyed during the PlayStation era, especially PS1, is Crash Bandicoot. Particularly Crash Bandicoot 2. Particularly that game. because that was like one of the first rage game I ever played, or at least I remember playing and getting angry at. So yeah, Crash Bandicoot to what else? It was so many. I think PS1, that's why I started getting to some racing games. No. Pre PlayStation era, I was heavily into racing games. So I play a lot of Burnout and Need for Speed back then. Yeah, racing games was my favorite back then. I thought about it. But anyway, for PlayStation, yeah, it was Crash Bandicoot and literally any racing games during the PS1. Yeah, but Crash is that game pisses me off. But I love that game so much. But anyways, PS2. PS2. God of War. Easy. God of War and Final Fantasy games. Yeah. No, I take that back. Not Final Fantasy. Because I didn't enjoy it. As popular as that game is, Final Fantasy VII was not my favorite game. Although I did enjoy the Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, which is the most underrated version of the Final Fantasy game ever. I love that game. I love that version of the game so much. It's very underrated compared to the original and Crisis Core. And for those of you who don't know what Dirge of Cerberus is, it's basically another Final Fantasy VII game, but it takes place around through the eyes of the unlockable character known as Vincent Valentine, which is my favorite character on the Final Fantasy VII universe. But anyways, PS3. PS3. I'm trying to name all the games that's not Call of Duty, because I play Call of Duty on all the major popular console game systems. So I want to say, you know what? Let's do it. My overall favorite is Call of Duty, has 100%. But I'm just breaking down what the phases of my childhood growing up on to like before I play Call of Duty. Yeah, PS3. I want to say God of War. God of War. What game came out during? I want to say God of War 3 came out on PS3. Because God of War was on PS2. It debuted in PS2, I believe. Can't remember if God of War 3 was the earliest one on PS3. Anyway, any God of War for PS3. That's the only thing I could think of. Now PS4, PS4. Oh my god, I got so many games. I love so many games. PS4, yeah, I'm trying to find out what I like besides Call of Duty and Resident Evil. PS4, I think I was playing. Nah, PS4, I think I was playing mostly Call of Duty games. Call of Duty and Resident Evil, yeah. All through the PS4 era. Any Call of Duty game and any Resident Evil game. And now PS5, God of War. God of War fucking Ragnarok. For PS5. And PC, it's a toss up. It's a toss up because a lot of games come out. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre is thoroughly. It's what I'm currently playing, and it's pretty enjoyable. It's just as toxic like DB toxic. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed that game. You know what? Fuck it. Dead by Daylight. It's gotta be Dead by Daylight for PC. But going back to the question, all time favorite. Even though I play Call of Duty a lot, I'm gonna say Resident Evil. Because that game, I can honestly say I could just play any versions of Resident Evil and I would not hate it. Because even though Call of Duty I play a lot of Call of Duty, there were some games that I just truly do not enjoy. But Resident Evil, you cannot go wrong. Can't go wrong with it. I started off playing Resident Evil 2. That was my first RE game I ever played. Even though I watched people play Resident Evil 1 growing up. But I was too afraid to play that particular game because I was too young and scared like a little bitch. But Resident Evil 2, I was kind of forced, or not really forced, I was coerced into playing Resident Evil 2 because my cousins are dicks and they trying to make me play that game or else I might get beat up. But anyways, I played that game. That's the first game I ever played and beat growing up. And then I played 3, then 4, then 5, then Revelations 2, which I hate Revelations 2. I don't see why people find that so popular. But then 6 and so on. Then 6, then 7, then no. Let me take that back because there was a remix in betweens. It was 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the Resident Evil remake. 6. Then there's the fucking Then I went back to play the original Resident Evil. Then I played 7. Then I played the RE2 remake. Then the RE3 remake. Then Resident Evil Village. The only RE games I haven't played yet is Dead Aim. It's Dead Aim. Dead Aim and anything that's for Game Boy. All that non-canon nonsense bullshit version of it. But Dead Aim is the only game that has eluded me after all these years because I don't have a Wii U. Because I don't have a Nintendo Wii at the time. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Resident Evil, all-time favorite game. And why is my favorite? Because that game, you know what, to be honest, that game represents the accomplishment of me overcoming my fear. Because like I said before, it started off with a fear because Resident Evil came out during the 90s. I was traumatized of seeing zombies killing Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. Because the players who were my cousins playing at the time, they suck at it so bad. And the fact that me as a little boy, a toddler, seeing a human being getting eaten alive traumatized me. But that fear eventually turned into motivation for me. Ultimately, I want to overcome my fear by playing RE2 and the rest was history, basically. So yeah. All right. So let's get into. I'm gonna have to search another my Instagram, see what questions they asked me there. That's quite a bit. All right, here's one. That's kind of a simple one. What is your favorite flavor ice cream? Boy, oh boy, to be honest, I legit haven't had ice cream in a very long time. by a very long time, I mean 3 months. uh favorite ice cream flavor. Well, you can't go wrong. I can't go wrong with me with strawberry. Even though that wasn't always my favorite. As a kid growing up, it was always used to be chocolate. Yeah, it used to be that. But I finally, yeah, but I have a thing for strawberry flavors. But since it's 2023 and the flavors are like fucking, there's all kinds of fucking flavors. It's hard for me to choose. I haven't tried Rocky Road. Well, I did try Rocky Road once or twice, and my god, that shit was delicious. Delicious as fuck. Mint, mint. You gotta be in the mood. Mint is one of those flavors you have to be in the mood. It's not something you just casually keep eating. Even though my breath would be minty fresh and shit, I would catch a fucking headache. But yeah, you can't go wrong with strawberry for me, or pineapple, if there's such things. No, I never tried a pineapple flavored ice cream. No, no, but I tried banana. I had banana nut. What's that called? Banana split. That's the name. What the fuck I was trying to say? What the fuck was I about to say? But yeah, banana split. I had that twice in my nighttime, and that shit is not bad at all. I thought that shit was gonna be disgusting, but that shit was good. Fucking delicious, for real. Trying to think of what other flavors there that I tried. That I could think of that. Yeah, I tried different flavors, different solid flavors. Watermelon, can't go wrong. That's another one. You can't go wrong with watermelon flavor. But yeah, first thing comes to mind is it depends on what the ice cream is. Is it an ice cream cone? Is it packaged ice cream? Wait, we talking about ice cream in a cone or a scoop or whatever? Ooh, like I said, any variation of strawberry ain't go wrong. Although I do enjoy pineapples flavor here and there, but yeah, can't go wrong with it. Oh, this is an interesting story. This is an interesting story. This is an interesting question. I didn't understand this at first. I don't know if this person's trying to be funny or whatever, but this person asked me, do I hover or do I squat? Now, for those of you that don't know what this question means, he basically asking me, when I go take a shit, do I hover over the do I hover over the toilet seat or do I sit in it? This answer is kind of complex. It kind of depends. It depends on where I'm at. If I'm in the public bathroom, it depends on it depends on the situation and it depends on where I'm at. If it's a public bathroom, I had to do this. I'm going to do this thing called build a nest. By a nest, I mean I'm grabbing some tissues. I'm grabbing some tissue and put the tissue all around the toilet seats before I squat. Or they got this thing now called the tissue something that has some kind of specific kind of material on it. It's a shape. It comes in the shape of the toilet seat. All you gotta do is grab it and just place it right on top of the toilet seat and you go. But yeah, I'm sorry, but if it wasn't for my legs, if I would never skip leg day, I would fucking hover. But since my legs is kind of weak, I had to really fully commit to sitting down. So because of that, I had to build it. I need to build a nest. I'm not I am not pressing my butt cheeks on no exposed fucking porcelains full of God knows what germs. They be in that shit. God knows what. No, so I had to insulate the fuck out of the porcelain with tissue or whatever that material is. But if I had the if I had that leg strength, no. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'll take that back. I did squat. I mean, not squat. Yeah, I did hover on a very specific reason. The only time when I ever hover over the toilet seat, whenever I had to go, is when I have. It's only and only when I have hemorrhoids. For those of you who do not have hemorrhoids, let me just describe it for you. Imagine your belly button. For those of you who has an outie belly button, y'all kind of halfway there already. For those of you that has an inning, imagine your inner belly button not only poked out, but stretched, skin on it stretched out of proportion to the point that it's almost about to bust. And once it does, blood will be everywhere. That's the best way for me to describe it. And yes, it is exactly as painful as you may have imagined, times 2. That's the only time I will ever hover over the toilet seat. All right, next question. Next question. What is your favorite movie genre? Favorite movie genre? That's an interesting question. I thought they was going for a favorite movie. I'm like, come on, man. I'm up to age where I go through the years of. What's my favorite movie genre? My favorite movie genre. I'll say anything. Growing up, I always loved sci-fi. Anything sci-fi related. But now, romance is is one of those genres I gotta be in the mood for. But since I'm single, romance is like far from my. You can't go wrong with action. Can't go wrong with that. For my current mood, yeah, it really depends on my mood. But my current mood, I think I'll go for psychotic thriller. I think that's the right description to call it. I think that's the right category to call it. Any thriller movie that has like a twisted ending, like Goosebumps for adults and shit. So yeah, like anything like that, like The Matrix, fucking yeah, any movies like that. It's not one thing movie I can, no other movie I can think of that's like count. This person asked me this weird question: what's your favorite form of public transportation? What are these questions? I have never took public transportation since I got my car for like 7 years. Although as a child growing up, I did took a bus a lot because places I go it's not that far. Train was quite an experience from time to time. I only took a plane ride once, and that's only for to go to Arkansas for college visits or whatever. So my favorite form of public transportation, I'll say also I roll on the boat, but we didn't go anywhere. We took a cruise around here. But it was hella expensive because that was the time I took up. I went on a date with my girlfriend at the time. But I'll say a train. Train, cause of the it would be an airplane, but the thing is I'm very afraid of heights. So they kind of ruined the satisfaction of being on the plane for me. So yeah, I'll say the train, which is like the next best thing as far as getting from point A to point B. And I often fell asleep on the trains time to time. All right, next question. What is your favorite free time activity? I don't think I should say this on stream. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, obviously my favorite free time is includes gaming. That's obvious. That's kind of obvious. Um, but I also love to work out. It's another great way to release some stress and all that pent up energy. I mean, um, time to time, I watch. I've been even though I'm a Twitch streamer, I do watch a lot of YouTube videos and movies from probably like once or twice every like that. Hmm. Next question. These questions are so general, but I love it. What's your favorite season? A lot to think that I'm a winter baby. My favorite season would be winter. But let me tell you something, guys. I can't stand the cold. I could tolerate the fuck out of the heat, even though it makes me naturally angry or whatever. I could tolerate that. It gives me an excuse to drink water, to hydrate. You know what I'm saying? But I cannot stand the cold. I can't. If I get frostbites on my fingers and toes, which I have plenty of experience of going through that shit as growing up. I hate it. I hate it so much. The city of Chicago is filled with none of it. What the fuck was that even worse? But it's filled with all of that during the winter season. The blizzard. All those of you who lives in the hot ass state and shit, Arizona, Florida, stay there. If you don't like the cold, stay the fuck wherever the fuck you are right now. Appreciate the hot ass weather. No, but my favorite season is actually springtime. Springtime is actually the only time. It's something about spring that it just puts me in a good mood. It almost always puts me in a good mood. Like I don't like the initial part of springtime because that's where the most rain happens. And when I look at the rain clouds and shit like that, I automatically get depressed. Like just like right now, it's cloudy as fuck. I should be depressed, but I'm not. But I'm not right now because I'm not looking at the clouds. But after the rain comes through for the plants and animals and shit like that, it's a beautiful feel. I mean, it's a beautiful sight to see, to be outside. Just makes me happy. Next question. You have to live without one of the 5 main citizens. I already know where this is going. What would it be? Let's see. For those of you who haven't been, for those of us who has not been educated, here are the 5 senses. Senses. Words are hard. Sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. If I could live without any of those things, what would it be? Sight is like the most reliable senses. So I can't be that. I can't live without. But since I'm already halfway there, I might as well lose my sense of smell. Because I'm kind of used to it. I'm kind of used to it anyways. While I always look at other people, they have this keen sense of smell and shit. They be smelling like, hey, what's that burning rubber and shit like that? Somebody smell like somebody burning and shit. I'm like, what? Like what? What the fuck y'all talking about? I would never. I never smelled that shit. Like the only way I could be able to smell is if the scent is strong. It has to be strong enough for me to catch the whiff of it. That's the best way for me to put it. So yeah, I would say I think I could go on without this, about that. Let's see. Question: what's your favorite board game? I always love chess. I'm a chess whiz. I used to be a chess whiz growing up. 10 years since I played it. But I love fucking chess. One game I cannot stand though is fucking Monopoly. That game always gets me angry. I cannot seem to fucking win with whoever I'm playing with. I am suck at fucking negotiating. I hate that shit. I don't care if I'm playing with family. I don't care if I'm playing with friends. I don't care if I'm playing with bums. Anybody. I will always lose on fucking Monopoly. I hate that game. But chess, I like that game. There's sometimes I win. Every time I win, I feel more intelligent than I actually am. It feels more rewarding if you win. What other board games are? Y'all see, I haven't played much. Y'all see. Can't count card games because card games is not. I don't think card games even count as. So I can't count those. What other board games I played? Oh, fuck, what was that one game? Fuck, it was an old game. That game don't even exist anymore. But yeah. Oh, what was that game where the pieces are the cylinder like shaped pieces? And sorry, that's the game. Oh, that game. Oh my god, that game used to piss. I used to piss people off a lot on that game. whenever you draw that card, it says sorry. Oh boy, I used to take, and then your character is locked up too. Oh man, there was the revenge. The revenge is so fucking sweet. Pull out that sorry card, take that your piece, and knock somebody's shit clean out the board. That shit be intense whenever I play that shit. Oh my god, I love it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that game a lot. I totally forgot about that. I need to know if that game is even online or whatever. I would definitely be down to play that shit. I'd be on some toxic shit like a motherfucker. Next question. What is your favorite comfort food? So in other words, what's my go-to food? Ramen noodles. Fuck you mean? I'm saying. Comfort food. Pizza Puff. Even though I have not had Pizza Puff in a long time, I always enjoy it. And for those of you who don't know what Pizza Puff is, I want to say it's basically calzone, but I never had calzone, so I want to know. But imagine a supersized Tostino's pizza roll. Just that small square like thing. Imagine it supersized, packed with cheese and the meat, or whatever the fuck you add into it. It's commonly meat inside of it. You cannot fucking go wrong with that shit if you're a meat lover guy. That's my go-to food. Another my guilty pleasures, which I'm damn surprised of, and it's because of my ex. Her auntie introduced me to this food, and I love this shit so much that she, every time I go over there, she cooked a big ass pot full of it. Cause she know I'm finna grab a biggest bowl I can find and eat that shit like it's a fucking big bowl of cereal. Um, I'm gonna call this my guilty pleasure food. Rice, Spanish rice and beans. It's something about that Spanish rice and beans. It just hits the fucking spot for me. My stomach, yeah, even though it hits a spot for me, but sometimes my stomach be like had like a bottomless pit when it comes to that particular dish. Oh my god, I fucking love that shit so much. Um, another comfort food I like that I've been buying recently is this thing called a tortas. And for those of you that don't know what a tortas is it's like a cheeseburger, but not really. It's shaped like a cheeseburger, but not quite. It's a big ass. It's commonly a big ass sandwich. And I always had chicken. It comes in chicken flavor. It could be ground beef. It could be carne asada. It could be in veg. It could be in any veggies, like veggie friendly sandwich. But I always pick fucking chicken and ground beef. That shit always chef's kiss. Just fucking kiss. What's your favorite thing about your best friend? Best friend. When's the last time I had the best friend? Because for those of you that don't know me, there's a lot of you out there. Because I don't, which is understandably because I don't talk about myself a lot. I have a very high standards when it comes to a definition of a best friend. I had lots. No, I can't even say I had lots of friends. I had few friends, but I don't have a best friend. Best friend. A best friend has to meet my qualifications. Yet not a single person at my qualifications, other than my cousin, Flora Free. There's one person that came close. No, there's few people. Let me take that back. There's few people that came close, including Pred, and my two guys from high school. They're the only three people that came close to me my qualifications of a true best friend. But anyways, let me tell you about a time. I've been waiting to tell people this story. I'm gonna tell you about a time when I became a best friend. One of those two people that I just mentioned, high school. I met this guy from freshman, clean until sophomore year in college. We wound up became roommates eventually. We had the best of time. We had best time all throughout high school. But let me give you guys a background story. Coming to high school, I was one of those quiet kids. I know, fun fact, shocker. I was one of those quiet kids. And like now, my standards for what a best friends. Now, yeah, my standards for what a friend is, let alone a best friend, is pretty high. So because of that, I wasn't so much in a rush to make friends. There to focus on my books or whatever. Anyways, throughout my years, I only been friends with three people. There's this one guy named Linda Gilbert, which he probably gonna read this podcast sometime in the future. Linda Gilbert and Victor Tucker. I'll never forget those guys' names, even though it's been since 2007. But anyways, by the way, 2007, that's my graduation year. So 3 years before that. But yeah, I met Linda Gilbert first. He kind of reminds me of my cousin Flora Free. His personality was kind of like that. He was a bit quiet, but well kept to himself. But he's funny. He's pretty funny once he opens up. He literally reminds me of how I met my cousin Flora Free. So it's kind of like him. But anyways, um, then there's the other guy named John Tamian Bryant. I never forget him. He's he's a football player. He plays football throughout high school. He was the one that encouraged me to work out. Now that I thought about it, through high school, I was skinny as fuck. I'm kind of skinny now, but imagine me what I look like now, but without muscles. That's what I literally look like. But anyways, he was one that pressured me into working out with him because I guess I told him I was kind of interested in going to the football and shit like that. So I wound up going to the gym with him along with the two twins that we was a clique back then. Well, not really a clique because I was kind of antisocial, but they wanted me to be a part of the crew. But I had a hard time relating to them. But anyways, um, the main clique was me, Lyndon, and Victor. The trios. We spend the majority of the time fucking. Well, when I say we, I mean me watching Lyndon and Victor spend all 4 years roasting each other. Literally coming at each other's head, talking about their head sizes and shit. That shit was I wish I remember some of this. I wish they was here so they could elaborate more on the stories. Because I bet you if we all were to do like a reunion or whatever, they would do the same shit they like in high school. But anyway, we spent the majority of the 4 years of roasting each other. Of course, I was a quiet person, so I didn't chime in or whatever until the senior year of high school. And then senior year of high school, that's why I started roasting Linda. Just getting on him. We're just going back and forth. That show was funny. But anyways, I digress. When college happened, Linda wound up going to a different college, while me and Victor went out south, which why I took that airplane to visit the college the first time. We wound up going over there in college. When I found out that Victor was going there with me, I was hella excited. So we spent our freshman year first semester trying to get a room together, but we want to have our separate roommates or whatever because conflict issues of the schedule. But anyway, but nonetheless, we still have our fun. Together, we wound up forming friends with two Arkansas native people, and one which is one guy he's from Arkansas. A female who I dated on and off. She was also from Arkansas, but from a different city. And then this chick who when it became Victor's girlfriend, she was from Texas. But anyways, with the five of us, we became a clique for for college. We spend most of the time together, most of our time together in each other's rooms, partying, doing God knows what. We was doing all types of experiment. I know I did. I was a fucking virgin in high school, shit like that. But when I was in college, shit, the gloves went off all fucking freshman year. I was doing all types of shit. I'm just playing. No, but I did hook up with a couple of females in college. But anyways, during our sophomore year, beginning of our sophomore year, no, it wasn't sophomore year. After our freshman year, we was on vacation, but we didn't leave, so we decided, just hang out or whatever. Now, at the time, Victor and his girl at the time, they had like they got into a bit of a disagreement. And mind you, this is my first time ever seeing him in a heavy disagreement. So what they do is they don't. And I know Victor, he don't argue like being aggressive with it. He disagrees with you. He'll just give you a silent treatment. So that's what the vibe was. They was flying up, even though we was all five of us was going out, whatever. Them two just never seemed to talk to each other, and I started noticing that shit. But anyways, so we went to this one area where there's a fountain. It's one of those big ass fountains, you know, where you make a wish, where people make a wish at or whatever, and toss a coin in or whatever bullshit they throw in there. It was one of those fountains. So we went to the park around it. So, you know, just hanging out or whatever. So, mind you, we was drunk. We already was drinking prior to coming to the park. It was just one of those random ass ideas we came up with just to get out of the house, just to get out of the campus. So we roaming the place drunk as hell or whatever. At least I know I was. But anyways, there was in a bit of a disagreement. So, and by me being not wanting to see this vibe going on even longer, because I feel like those guys were kind of cute together, and I hate to see them on the verge of breaking up. So I asked myself, I came up with this crazy. So I asked myself, as a friend who don't want to break friendships with the one I've been with for 5 years, and a newly formed friendship with his girl, what can I do as a friend that's not intrusive, not too intrusive, but that could possibly fix this relationship? Oh, I know. Now, mind you guys, this takes place in the wintertime. It wasn't snowing, but it was cold. So I came up with this idea to. First I asked him, like, hey man, y'all look kind of quiet, man. Y'all ain't gonna talk things out, because I know you got problems and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was saying some shit. I can't remember exactly what I said, because I was drunk. But I do remember trying to convince them, to talk things out. But they wasn't going. So I tried it a second time. It still didn't work. This is how I remember. I remember saying, like, okay, if you guys not gonna make up or whatever, I am going to jump into this fountain. Now, mind you, this fountain isn't shallow, not by a long shot. This fountain was fucking. The height it goes past your knees. I think it's like thigh high. So I say, you guys not gonna make up. I'm gonna jump into this shallow ass water, and the water is cold as fuck. And I tell you guys, I hate the fucking cold. And Victor knows that. So he knows I'm not playing. So he think I'm capping. But anyways, so he looked at me like man, whatever, brush it off or whatever, smiling or whatever. I'm dead ass serious. I'm gonna jump in. Y'all better talk things out, whatever. So they ain't do it. So at this point, I'm taking off my jacket. Like, all right, y'all think I'm fucking playing. I'm took off my jacket. Like, y'all still ain't gonna talk? They ain't saying nothing. I'm like, all right. So I took off my shoes. Took off my shoes and socks. Y'all still ain't gonna talk? They ain't say nothing. All right. I'm like, all right. So I took off my shirt. Took off my shirt and my tank top. So at this point, my nips is already frozen. Cause it was that fucking cold outside. I'm like, y'all not gonna talk. So they giggling or whatever, but they still, fighting it, whatever. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, y'all really think I'm playing. So at this point, I'm taking off my pants. That's one thing I never did in front of people. I took off my pants. At this point, now I'm down to my fucking bosses. and I'm shaking because it's so damn cold. It's so freaking cold. But I didn't give a fuck because I was drunk. So I took my pants off. I'm down to literally to my boxers. No socks or nothing. Like I'm like, y'all think I'm playing. So at this point, my other two good friends, they was already laughing. They already laughing. They're like, hey yo, this man's serious. So I'm like, yeah, they think I'm playing. So I'm like, I took 2 steps on the edge of the fountain. I'm like, y'all think I'm playing, yo. Like I'm already dangling over the fountain right now. Like y'all ain't gonna talk. And finally, Victor finally broke. You're like, all right. You're like, all right, all right. You can stop. We'll talk. In my mind, I was like, oh, thank God. Because I don't want to do this. But I can feel myself fully committing to going into that fucking water. I like, oh, that guy. So I immediately put my clothes back on, yo. So that comes to show how much I'm willing to sacrifice. I would sacrifice my fucking dignity. Is that a word? Dignity. And fucking maybe my health. Just to just to make sure these guys stay friends. So get you one of those guys. Oh my God. All right. Next question. I just went. So, wait, did I answer that question? What's the favorite thing about a best friend? Oh, I just basically described myself. Yeah, get you one of those. My favorite thing about my best friend is his commitment to, being my friend. He respects me for me and wants to hang out with me. He don't want to be following the crowd and shit like that. Stay true to himself. I like those genuine people. I like people being genuine in general and not being quote unquote fake or whatever. All right, next question. What's your favorite Halloween costume? And this is funny. Halloween is coming up. Why I want to get no. Let me answer this question right away. My favorite Halloween costume. Most of I didn't celebrate Halloween much, but if I do, I used to dress up as vampire or any vampire theme costume. I'm not talking about no old school vampire with the cape and the fangs and the pale face and the gelled up hair and shit like that. No. I'm talking fucking teenage vampire. I'm talking fangs. I'm talking color eyes. I'm talking sipping red wine. All of that shit. Fucking teen wolf, teen vampire type, Twilight type shit. That type of vampires I like to dress up as. But my costume I dressed up, which is ironically no, I did one of the costume just for the casual cosplay. But my Halloween costume I did recently was the Resident Evil 2 Leon Kennedy. The first time I had it on. That was supposed to be for Halloween. And then I started cosplaying, doing that shit for the sake of cosplaying for the release of RE4 was when I bought the RE4 outfit. Yeah, so yeah. So I'll say Leon Kennedy. Because it's, like I say, it inspires, is based off of a lot of shit actually. I overcome Resident Evil game, my first Resident Evil game, and how it became my favorite game. Next question. What is your favorite superhero? This actually changes. This is another thing that changes throughout the years. Growing up, it was always I know a lot of people didn't know, but my superhero growing up was Superman. Growing up, this back when before I know the terms of OP and all that shit. You know, he was just basically he was just a straightforward. Um, he's a straightforward Boy Scout superhero that I aspired to be. Of course, you would think of something like that because you know you're a kid. Um, but during my teenage, it was actually a toss up between Blade and Ghost Rider. But come and find out, Blade and Ghost Riders don't really count as a superhero because they're anti-heroes. So I had to reject that. But superhero now, Oh yeah, another superhero now that I grew up during the 20s. It was Static Shock. Static Shock. For those of you that don't know what Static Shock is, it's obviously he's a superhero that manipulates electromagnetic properties. Come find out that's an actual term for that. Um and he's actually from DC. Yeah, he's actually from DC. But when I grew up, when I watched that show, I did not know he was from DC. I just like him just because I could relate to him on so many levels. Um, but superhero now, hmm. Everybody who truly knows me knows that I like Venom, but he's not a superhero. He's another anti. I think me. I just like anti-heroes. So superhero is kind of a toss up. Um, I like a lot of anti-heroes, but Venom is my top anti-hero. But if we want to talk about superhero, I guess I'm gonna have to say Black Panther. No, he's a. Does he count as an anti-hero? No, he's a superhero. He's a superhero. He fully believes in protecting his people and eventually protect all of mankind only if he has to. So yeah, I'll say Black Panther. All right. I'm gonna skip some of these questions because it's not exactly what's for. What's the most daring thing you ever done? Nah. I'm gonna have to make this my last question. This is a good one to end it on. Let me make sure I read everything else before I. Yeah, all this shit is kind of lame. Yeah, this is the great question to end on. What's the most daring thing you ever done? Um, besides that one thing in high school, in college. Uh, I'm pretty sure my cousins can kind of attest to this story, but there was this one time when shortly after I came back from college, um, I was slightly a different person than relatives known before. Because I at first initially before I left college, I was a quiet person. I was, you know, well kept to myself. I did not believe in drinking. I did not believe in smoking. I ain't believe in none of that shit. But after college, my cousin was kind of shocked that not only that I drink, not only that I smoke, but I was a hardcore drinker, like party drinker, not alcohol, not drunk. Well, yeah, party drinker. We could say that. But there's this one incident where I don't know what the fuck what the occasion was, but we was holding a party or whatever in the backyard of our grandmother's house. Thank God rest her soul. She passed away at the time. So, but we was having a party. But all I remember was it was more friends there than family. I don't remember that for sure. No, there was family there. I think it was. I don't know if it was a family reunion after party or what, but I do remember it was at night, and there was an equal amount of family members as well as to friends. The ratio to family to friends is kind of 1 to 1. But I remember drinking for the first time ever. I remember drinking clear liquor. Now, when I was drinking in college, it was always dark liquor. But when I came back, I tried this thing called what's that Russian drink? Savaka. I tried one of those Savaka drinks for the first time ever. My dumb ass. Not only did I took a few shots, and when I say shots, it's not really a shot. It's like a cup. I took a cup. I'm thinking this is what normal people do. They would take a glass, kind of like a medium-sized glass, and drink that and chug that shit like it's a shot glass. No, that's not what you're supposed to do. My dumb ass, being new drinking and all, I thought that was a normal thing to do. So I poured that shit to the rim, and I just knocking them bitches back. 3 shots back to back, right? So I remember after that, I remember taking another shot and mix it with a dark liquor. I don't know what that liquor is, but I do remember it's being dark. But I do remember bragging about, hey, I'm finna miss this shit. I'm finna go in. I'm finna outdrink y'all asses or whatever. Boasting and shit like that. But but I remember, just talking shit, whatever. I do remember my older cousin saying like, "All right, you taking that shit, you gonna fall on your ass," or basically warning me or whatever. But I wasn't trying to hear it. I wasn't trying to hear none of that shit. But so I'm took that shot, and then later on took a few more shots. I do remember taking. They told me I took like double-digit shots. I don't know if it's 10 or 12. I do remember just knocking the bitches back to back to back to back to back. The first few shots was like big ass fucking big shots. But they want to give me, after I missed that liquor one time, they want to give me a shot glass, telling me like, hey, slow down, man, whatever. I'm like, man, I wasn't trying to hear that. So I'm taking 5 more shots or whatever, just knocking them bitches back or whatever. But next thing you know, this is what they told me. This is what they told me happened afterwards. They said that after I took that shot, well, not after I took a shot, I was dancing, we was all having fun and shit like that. They said next thing you know, they seeing me feeling, just going all woozy and shit, swaying side to side, whatever. Like, "Are you good?" Somebody saying, "Are you good?" Whatever, and I guess somebody must have known something was wrong, so they took me to the bathroom. Yeah, they took me to the bathroom, and they told me like, hey, sit here, wait here, and don't come out until you're good or whatever. And they say I was murmuring some shit, some dumb shit, whatever. But next thing you know, they checked back on me, like they say like 5 minutes later. They said that I was hugging the toilet. When I say the toilet seat was fucking covered with projectiles of vomit. I'm talking that shit was fucking dripping. That shit was so bad. And not only that, but the smell that left the bathroom, it was strong. It was strong as fuck. Like, you could smell the alcohol just seeping out of the fucking, just escaping the bathroom. Like, that shit was loud. So, somehow, I guess they carried me there, but I wound up being carried all the way to the from the back of the house, which where the bathroom is at, all the way to the front of the house, and they put me on a couch to just to pass out there. So I guess I fell asleep or whatever, and they just left me there. But the next morning, I woke up. It was I woke up with a mega headache, mega hangover. It was so fucking bad. It was the worst I ever had since college. But I woke up. I remember my face was fucking covered. It was covered with fucking more vomit, and it's got all over the fucking couch. I'm like, oh. I feel so bad because it's one of those couches. It's my grandma's couch. It's my late grandma's couches, and it's even though it's laminated, she's one of those type of people that laminate her furniture or whatever. Thank God she did that. But I said I covered the whole half of the fucking couch with my vomit, and it still smells so fucking strong with alcohol because I didn't eat at all. I didn't eat at all that night, so I was getting hit with the worst of the worst kind of fucking hangovers. It was fucking bad. But yeah, I was covered. My face was covered with dry vomit all the way down to my shirt, all the way down to my shoulders and shit, because I was literally rolled around in that vomit filth. So it got, of course, some of that shit got in my hair, whatever. So I woke up. They woke up like an hour later. I woke up like early in the morning and shit like that. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to clean that couch and clean myself. And when they woke up, them motherfuckers, because at the time I was living with my grandma's house while my cousins there. Because we all passed out. So not only that, my relatives and cousins and shit was there, but their friends was there too, so because they all passed out. But anyways, they was all laughing and talking mad shit to me. Talking about how I was going extra hard and shit. But at the end of the day, they kind of respect me for it, and that was like the first time ever being acknowledged for that. So it was good to embarrass myself sometimes. So yes, that's it for today for this podcast. I do appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys wish to check out the previous podcast, please check check out the contest that's down below. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My brain just draw a blank for a moment. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the follow button if you're new to this channel already. And be sure to follow my socials. The names of it will be coming right up. And also, leave your notifications on so that way you know when the next time I will go live. Until next time. Until next time, rage on.